All right, welcome back, dear viewers. Got a quick video, another review video. We're going to be talking about the music of Ericha Zann. I got a lot of books to go through. Man, and I got a few more that came in the mail today. But my woes in video making aside, I'm glad you're here. Please hit like and subscribe. This is kind of what I do. I run games, I play games, I record myself playing those games, and then I talk about those games. My buddy Gary and we have a live stream on Friday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard, 10 Central. It's called The Second Watch. We talk about games. We're interviewing people who write games. It's a good time. I hope to see you there. Also, there's still a few copies of my Lamentations of the Flame Princess book available, I believe, at... I can never remember if it's the European store or the American store. Go to lotfp.com for all this stuff and pick this up. PDFs at drive-thru for like $4.99. Anyway, why don't we get started with the music of Ericha Zann by James Edward Raggi IV. So a couple things. What some people have said about this is that it's like a shitpost or something, or like it's meant to troll people. I have a completely different take, and I'll talk about it over the course of this video. But essentially, what this is the Bard class for Lamentations of the Flame Princess, the most reviled and hated class in the OSR, I think, is the Bard. And as you can see by the cover, this is going to be kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, playful take on it, but it's also, of course, Lamentations Z. But yeah, that's exactly what this book is. It is a supplement for your games and for an extra character class. Which, as an aside, aside from the 7 core classes in the main book, there's not a lot out there other than third-party content for extra character classes for Lamentations. There's the weird Daughter's Bride character class. There's an equally weird character class from A Red and Pleasant Land, the Alice. I think there are Amazon witches or something from Zach S's Frostbitten and Mutilated. I know Carcosa has a couple classes in it. And James released a sensitive class with the most recent catalog that you could only get at... I think it was Gen Con. But anyway, there's not too many. So I like seeing new character classes. I think player options are important, especially if you're playing OSR. The modern sensibility is players like to have builds, and OSR really doesn't do that. So I think giving some options is a good idea. Now, whether or not you include the Lamentations Bard is... in those options is, I guess, up to you. God bless you if you do. So I don't know why I'm doing that. I could just show you using the PDF. But so what is it? Okay, well, it's a bard, right? And all the magic comes from the music, right? Pretty standard. What the real, I guess, difference is the type of magic and what it does. And it's a character class that I really like because there's a lot of randomness to it, which means it's dangerous. This on the inside cover, there's this mass hysteria table, 20 entries, but basically, if the bard is playing up on a rooftop, like from some 80s video, like U2, I think he even mentions U2 and the Beatles. I think Alien Ant Farm did that too. I don't know. Anyway, you can create mass hysteria, which will totally, in like a 1d4 times 100-yard radius. So like the bard can really do some damage. I'm going to explain how the tables work in just a second, because it's not just a straight d20 roll. But that is one of the things the bard can do. The main magic, though, are these powers that it has. The summonment, banishment, enchantment, dispelment, ensorcelment, and mundanement. And they're all, well, categories of spells, but really they're categories of effects, because each of them, as you will see, have a d20 table associated with them. Well, I'm sorry, a d30 table. And I'm just going through them all. And how you roll on those tables is kind of interesting. You have an initial warm-up roll, and then a performance roll, and then you roll the effect. Okay. Essentially, the warm-up roll, if it's 10 or more, there'll be a -1 modifier to the following performance. If the warm-up roll is not 10 and equal to or less than the bard's level, there will be a +1 modifier on the following performance roll. So the higher levels you get, the more likely it is you're going to have this bonus to the performance. You roll in the performance roll, and then determine the effect, right? And the performance roll will have additional conditions, and then you calculate the results and take a look at the effect table, and that'll tell you what you're rolling. And you can see if you roll well, you can roll d12 plus 18, and that's how you're going to get to like above 20 on those tables. That's pretty much it. It's nice, easy, straightforward. The real issue is what happens once the spell goes into effect. So banishment is just what you think it is. It's about getting rid of otherworldly beings, and you make this roll, and worst case scenario, the outsider is banished, as are the bard and the entire dungeon, street, immediate environment forever lost, as if they've never existed. Anyone fleeing as soon as the banishment begins may escape, and they will remember all present, but no one else will ever remember that the location or anyone there when it all banished ever existed. So, that's pretty hardcore, right? And then, but if you get a 30, the outsider is indeed banished, and so completely that no portal can ever be opened to that dimension ever again. So, obviously, the higher the roll, the better. There's also, I guess, a miscellaneous effect chart that you're going to need to take a look at as well. There's a summoning music that functions just like, as you can see here, the summon spell from the main book. Like, you are going to summon something random and strange and potentially reality shattering and by extension campaign shattering creature. I really like this piece of art here. But yeah, here we go. All the enchanting an item. What kind of powers does it have? Dispelling magic. I really like the corpse paint, by the way. Very Raggi, I guess. Then you have the ensorcel. This is like enchanting other people and controlling them. This one is a little strange. Mundanement. Basically, it's like, I guess, removing curses and possessions and stuff. But anyway, this is just full of random tables and the strange things that this bard is going to do to your campaign. Civilized random encounters. Basically, when a bard is using his abilities, you're going to be rolling on this chart to see if there's any consequences, things like that. It is wild. Okay, so as you can see, there are, like I said, it's just nothing but randomness. It's not like casting magic from a Vancine perspective, where you're memorizing. You're casting it, you're rolling, and you're seeing what happens. There is no prediction of what's going to happen. It is pure chaos. A lot of people think that this makes this class unplayable. Maybe. I, however, think it's perfectly 100% consistent with the way Lamentations approaches Magic. It is unique, it's different, it's incredibly dangerous, random, wild, unpredictable, fantastic, horrifying. It's got all of it, right? And I would totally use it. Just warning the player, like, what you're going to do with this character class could very well derail whatever plans I have or expectations I have, and more importantly, the expectations of the other players at the table. But I'm of the opinion that Magic is like an art form. You know, every spell book is, I mean, going back to the original game, their spell book is unique to the spellcaster, such that if you found an enemy spell book, you'd have to cast Read Magic on it so you can understand what is in it. I don't see why any quote-unquote Magic user should be limited to just the Vancian style. So like when I run games, I allow Magic users to play however they want. They want to use the Eldritch Cock, Vaginas or Magic spells, they can. They want to use some other third-party spell type system, so long as it's compatible to an OSR system, I would allow it. And to me, the Bard isn't really a Bard in the strict sense of the word. This is another form of Magic user. Well, I guess it is a Bard in the strict sense. What I mean, more broadly speaking, it's a Magic user, and an option to inject some horror, magic, danger to your campaign. So I don't know, I really like this book. I think it's fun and ultimately interesting, and a neat take on the Bard, and one where I'd actually welcome someone to play a Bard in the campaign. So anyway, quick review video. I hope you guys get something out of it. Take a look. You can get this at the Lotfp store still. PDFs on drive-thru, of course. But other than that, that's all I got. Hit like and subscribe, follow. Check us out on the Second Watch Friday nights, and I will see you later.